Hey guys, it's Connor here. In this video, I'm going to be showing you all the housing plots in the midnight beta. So these might be subject to change, but mostly I think they'll probably be similar to what you're seeing in this video. Now there's two different maps. You get one for Alliance, and there's also one for Horde. I'll show you later on in the video. And each one consists of 55 plots, starting from 0, going all the way up to 54. I don't know why they just didn't call it 1 to 55. Why is there a plot 0? Weird. And you're only able to claim one of these in this neighborhood, and you can also track all the different people who live and if they're online here. It's kind of crazy. If you're like me and you wanted a very specific plot, one that looks exactly the way you want, you're going to be making use of the housing dashboard feature, the Open House Finder. And then from here, you can actually see all the different plots that are available. Through this video, I'm going to show you every single plot number and what the house looks like, so that you can decide which one you want. So if you wanted like plot 33, but it was taken on this one, you can check all these different alternate neighborhoods. And if there's none available, you just refresh this until it gives you different ones and keep checking different like neighborhoods until you have it available so that you can guarantee you get plot 33. Now, starting with the Alliance houses, let's begin. For plot number 0, this is located right over here on the map. And this is what the plot looks like over here. Just ignore the house because obviously you can change this, but it looks like you have a nice little dock to like maybe like a fishing kind of area with a little view of a waterfall over there. So this is what it looks like. Plot number 1 is located over here on the map, and this is what it looks like. When you get in here, it has a nice view of a mountain with a little pond at the back here surrounded by trees. And that's pretty much the vibe this one goes for. Plot number 2 is located over here, and this goes for the spooky theme, where it's pretty much next to whatever this thing is, and a giant, like, deathly looking tree. It's pretty gloomy looking area, and that's pretty much what you get for this one. Plot number 3 is up on a hill cliffside. Pretty cool looking plot. It pretty much starts over here along the road, has a river that goes down a waterfall, which they have a nice view of pretty much a bunch of like forestry and mountains. Nice. Plot number 4 is located over here, and this is what it looks like. They pretty much have a nice bridge view. They've got a dock and some water, and they don't like me trespassing within their area. And that's what this little plot looks like. Plot number 5 can be found over here. This is surrounded by a bunch of trees, apple trees. Ignore some of the stuff placed in here because this is placed by the person who owns the plot. You can decorate it however you want, but this is the vibe that you have around it. You have a nice view of a lighthouse in the distance over there. There's like a little pond over here and some mushroom stuff like from this like broken down tree thing. Plot number 6 is located right over here, and this is what it looks like. It's kind of like in a forever nighttime area. There's like a pond over here with some light bugs, fireflies flying around. Really nice little view around it with this like river. Kind of a nice, serene, but also moderately creepy zone. Plot number 7 is located over here, and it pretty much is around a giant tree trunk fallen on the ground, and there also is construction work going on nearby, so just beware the loud noises. You do have a little like creek behind you, so that's nice. Plot number 8 is located over here, and at this location, this is a very gloomy looking area with like dead trees, mushrooms, bushes and stuff, and very undead feeling location, very like graveyard-esque. Plot number 9 is located over here, and this is what it looks like. It kind of feels like you're in a bit of a park, so it's a lot of trees, grass, and there's like, a little park bench and like walkways to other houses in a small mini neighborhood. Plot number 10 is located over here at this location, and it's very similar to number 8, which is pretty much just like a gloomier section. Maybe they have a better view here because there's a waterfall and it's over the ocean this side. And yeah, it's right on the border of the sun. If you fly in, dark. Fly out, light. Plot number 11 is located right over here by the river. As you can see here, it's a very peaceful looking area. So there's some trees, the river just behind it with a little mini dock. And yeah, that's kind of the vibe it goes for. Pretty like relaxing. Plot number 12 is located over here on this like beachfront looking area. Really cool looking zone. I really like this one. It's really nice. They have such a nice view of the sunset over the ocean. And it's really just serene and like beachy vibe. I like it. It's cool. Plot number 13 is my current house in the beta. So over here at this location on the map, this one has a nice view of the like lighthouse, and in the distance over here, got some like rocks and everything on this side, some trees, a little bit of everything. Not the greatest plot, but also pretty nice and separate from everything else. I like it. Plot number 14 is at this location over here, and it's pretty open for the most part. It has a nice big open view of like the like lighthouse in the distance over there, the waterfall over there, and just some trees around it on the other sides. Plot 15 is located over here in this location, and here it's also pretty alone. On the left here, there's a nice view of this little wisp flying around that like fountain down there. Comes along here around the tree. Pretty cool little feature of this zone. For the most part, it's pretty alone. It's got the creek and like a little dock over here up ahead, and yeah, it's very kind of like segregated from everything else. Plot number 16 is very similar to number 11 because it's like in the same area. It's surrounded by a bunch of trees and kind of like grassland and stuff like this. It's more of a like a foresty vibe home, I guess you could say. Plot number 17 is close to plot number 0. It's located over here, and this is what it looks like in the area. So it's got a lot of like dead looking trees and like dark, you know, just like creepier vibes. It does have a pretty cool view of this like tree with all the fireflies around it though, so not a bad view if you like the nighttime stuff. Plot number 18 is located over here. It's also in the dark zone, and this one looks like this, next to a tower. So you have this view, you've got some trees around you, and also a over cliff view of down below. That's the vibe you get here. It actually looks pretty cool when you look this direction though. Right next to a graveyard, it seems. That's great. Plot number 19 is close to some other houses. It's located over here. It has a view of pretty much like a bunch of things here. So you have that, you have the whole mountains terrain here. You pretty much are a view of many things. Everybody can see your house here, and you can see everybody's house from here. Plot number 20 is located right over here at this location. If you like graveyards, this is going to be your favorite one because it's in the middle of a graveyard. You literally live in the graveyard. This is the most undead location you could possibly get. Pretty cool, actually. I like it. Plot number 21 is located over here. Also like a very alone house. Not much people going around, alongside a cliff, some big trees, a waterfall, very private. It's actually pretty cool. I actually like this little location. It's nice. A little bit too dark for my liking, but it might be just up your alley. Plot number 22 is located over here on a cliff edge. So right over here at this location, this is the plot right here within this confines. It's got like a little tower over here, some cliffs behind it, and then of course it has a overview of like the undead kind of forest location here. Well, more that side, but like this is getting there. That's the vibe for this one. Plot number 23 is up against the cliffs over here in this section. This is what it looks like over here. So you're literally up against some major cliffs in the mountainside. Really cool vibe. You got this like waterfall over here, and it overlooks pretty much the entire area like that. Great view from this one. Not gonna lie, this is a great view. Plot number 24 is also really alone, but it's also in a really cool looking area. So you see here, it comes down this little pathway. Here's the plot's location right over here. It has a view of like the ocean, the sunset, this little mountaintop over here. And it's literally, this is yours. Everything the light touches is yours from this plot. Pretty cool. Plot number 25 is in a little community of houses in this area, and this is where it is. So it's pretty much in the center over here. There's a little mountain over there, another plot there. You've got the view of the beach and everything around you, some houses around. So you can really like live here with your friends. If you are in a little group and you wanted to be able to see each other's houses, this would be a great spot for it. Plot number 26 is located over here on the map, and this is amongst some like trees and stuff. It's really maple kind of area like this, you know, kind of busy, but also kind of chill at the same time. You can still see some neighbors around, but it's mostly like in the forest and some trees. Pretty decent view all around though. Plot number 27 is located in a little community as well. So right over here in this area, you can see here your neighbors are really close by. So if you're playing with friends, great place to live. It's up against a little mountainside over here. You have a little creek with some like waterfall over there, a little like water pond thing over here. Pretty nice. Yeah, that's what this location looks like. Plot number 28 is located a step above everybody else's plot in this area. So you're pretty much on this like high area like this, overlooking the ocean, the view, and your friend's house is possibly down there. And you have a giant bridge that comes across to your place. So yeah, nice little plot. Plot 29 is located over here. It's a very cozy little plot. It kind of fits into the little nook of the land over here. As you can see, here's the plot right with this house. It's surrounded by like little cliff edges over here. They like little walls of this dirt and stuff. Has this little bridge around it. Has a little water. It's nice and cozy, I think. Plot number 30 is located over here. It's surrounded by a lot of things. So here's the plot itself with the house. It's surrounded by a bunch of trees. There's some like farmlands over here next to it with some windmills. This is not another house. This is like decoration of the lands. So it's pretty much like in the midst of a bunch of things here. So that's the vibe this one has. Plot number 31 has a nice view of everything that's up here at this location. You'll see here it's got some water on the side, really cool, the mountainside right behind it, and a view of everything from this side. So it's pretty cool. There's only one real neighbor. It's across the little water over here. So if you have like a best friend, you and your best friend can be separated by the river. And that's how you can live in this little plot. Plot number 32 is possibly the highest plot in terms of elevation. I don't think there's a plot higher than this one. This one has a view of everything from this side over here with the tower, a bunch of houses below it that it can see, and it's got like a little, nice open area. I think some of these are decorations placed by the plot itself, so don't expect this to be here in your game when you grab the plot. So it's mostly going to be the mountainside and that. Plot number 33 has a lot of space. If you like this little dark area, it's over here on the map. So you'll see this is the location it has here. It's very nice and open, feels really, really open and spacious and lets you create whatever you want to create here. Like maybe you want to make your own little Dark Moon Fair little location. You could probably do that. Maybe. Depends on how the decorations work. Plot number 34 is located over here, only has 2 close neighbors nearby. This is what it looks like. Has a giant tree, like a farm that's next to it that takes up a lot of space, so that you're going to have a view of that for most of the time. And over here you see a lot of forestry and a big open view of the ocean and the houses that are down here. Plot number 35 is over here in this little section. It's kind of like segregated from a bunch of other things. It has a flight path right next to it over here that might be a bit weird. You've got a giant tree here, a giant tree there, a big tower over here, the lighthouse, and you can pretty much like have a little private ocean view that's not too bad, to be honest. Plot number 36 is located over here right on this little edge, this little cusp of land. You'll have a nice view of the ocean from a lot of the direction that you look in. And then you'll also see a waterfall in this distance, some apple trees, and some more houses and trees and stuff this way. That's what the whole plot looks like here. Plot number 37 is located right over here. It's on the cliff edge that has a view of a shipwreck in the distance, and it's pretty much surrounded by a giant tree, a whole forest over here with all different houses and buildings and a bridge and stuff and a little waterfall on this side. So that's what this plot looks like. Plot number 38 is located over here in the dark area, and this is what it looks like. It's got a very nice decorative environment around it. I actually like the way it looks here. You got a bunch of these trees, this fallen over tree with a hollowed out log. It's a really cool looking plot within this forest. Plot 39 is a bit strange. It's located over here and you live right next to a barn. Here's the barn, here's your plot right next to it, right alongside it, and also the farm over here. If you really want a farmer's homestead, this is it, because it's gonna look like this is your farm if you build this as such. It could be your farm if you live here. This could be yours now. Plot number 40 is located over here and is wholly on the sand. This is a little sand house. Pretty cool. So it's in this little location over here. You have that house looking over you every single day, looking into your window. And then you have a nice beach sunset view over here, which is also pretty cool. And great place to live with your friends if they have those houses there. Plot number 41 has a very interesting house in it right now, just in this little testing stage, but it's over here. It's very alone in this little section down here. So here it is. This is not part of the land. This is the dude's house. He built these rocks, made them really massive, placed them around so it looks like he lives in a cave. You can see the door is right over there. Pretty cool looking idea for a house, not gonna lie. That's fun. And this is what the rest of the area looks like. It's not a bad little segregated location. It's only that house over there that can see you and you can see it. Plot number 42 is surrounded by a lot of forestry, so it's located over here. This is what the plot looks like. It's got this little cool this stuff going on here. It's got a bunch of trees. Like I said, it feels like I'm in Elwyn Forest right now and I built a house here. That's the vibe I get from this. Plot number 43 is located over here. It's very similar to plot number 28 across the bridge. As you can see here, they share a bridge between their 2 little platforms over here. This one's a little bit more on its own in the way that it's a little bit further away from the other houses. It does have a view of everything over here. It's not too bad. It's a very interesting little location. It's pretty cool. Plot number 44 is a great one to share with friends because it's in this little community over here. It's at this location. Here's what the house looks like. This is the plot in general where my cursor is. It's got some trees. It's in the forest over here. It shares this little pond over here with this sister house on the other side. And it's got the mountains behind it. Really cool little cabin in the woods kind of feeling. Plot number 45 is located right over here, has a few like sister houses around it. This is what its location looks like. So it's in here. Ignore this stuff. This is placed by the person who made the house. They pretty much have this like little raised platform around over here with the big trees around it like that. And then you can see many of the other houses in different directions like such. Plot number 46 is also great if you have a little group of friends because there can be some houses really close by. So the plot looks like this. This is where it's located. It's pretty much by the river here. Has a view of the waterfall. Quite nice. House across the water. House over there. House over there. Like really close neighbors. Like you can literally stand in your window here and be like, hey neighbor, and they'll see you too and you can wave and stuff. I don't know. Pretty cool little spot. Plot number 47 is right across the river from the previous one. So your best friend who lives right over there, this is where you can live and he can or they can live on that side. So right over here alongside the river, you have a road on this side. This is the kind of vibe it has going here. Really in the midst of like a little town because you can see a bunch of houses around. Plot number 48 is meant to be lived in with your best friend who lives next to you at 53. So right over here at this location, this is where it is. It's pretty much overlooking a nice view. It's got a waterfall right next to it over here. So the plot has this tree here. Your neighbor literally lives over there. So your houses are going to be so close to each other. And you have a fantastic view from this one particularly. Plot number 49 fits in with the friend group of the other ones around it over here. So at this location, this is where the plot is. It's pretty much in the midst of the forest and you can see here it kind of like forms a little town community kind of esque with all these houses like close to it. So some trees and stuff. Not really much other than that. It's just really community oriented looking house. Plot number 50 is right over here, can be part of a community as well. Really nice area. They got a nice view of everything. The person has decorated their house quite well, as you can see here. The only thing that's not part of their house is this stuff over here, which will be there for everybody's game. But yeah, this is the view that they have over here, and they've placed all these trees. They've really made it work. They even have a view of the waterfall and the little hills behind them. Plot number 51, very community orientated with all these houses over here. So this is what it looks like. It's got a really nice access to the little river over here with a dock over there. The house is surrounded by a bunch of trees. You can see many other houses from this plot over here. And that's the vibe you get from this one. Plot number 52 is located over here. It can see a bunch of other houses, as you can see from the view. The house is going to be right up against this like hill, these little hill walls, and yeah, it's just gonna have this kind of like vibe around it. Not bad, very open looking view. Plot 53, also known as the best friend house who lives right next to you at 48. Right here, you can see they live there. Your plot would be over here. You have this view of like the forests. You also have a decent view of the view over here. Your friend gets the better one, unfortunately, but you still get to live like, you know, right over here next to your best friend. And finally, the final plot, number 54, is located as the final one as part of this community along the river over here. This is the plot location, surrounded by trees on this side, has a pathway to all your friends' houses and the community houses here. If you want to live in a little town, this is the feeling you'll get from this one. You also are the closest to the waterfall and like down onto the water over here. So pretty cool little location for this. And that's it for all the plots in the Alliance area, which is called the Founder's Point. Now we're going to have a look at the Horde plots, which arguably I think look a lot nicer than the Alliance ones, but that's my opinion. This is in the Razorwind shores. Just like the Alliance side, it's going to have plots from 0 to 54. So 55 plots across the entire region spanning different types of terrain and areas. For plot number 0 over here at this location, this is what the plot looks like. It's up against the mountainside. It's got some giant like palm trees around it. Really cool tropical vibe. This is the view it has from the front. It's not super bad. It's really like closed in on this hill. Plot number 1 is located over here and they have such a nice view, man. Like this is incredible. It's on the sand over here and they have like this private beach with like this wooden veranda thing that like, you know, walks down to the beach. It's really cool. This is such a nice view for a plot, to be honest. Plot number 2 also has a really cool view. It's located over here. It's got a mountainside on its back over here. It's got a view of a waterfall over here, a little bit of a river. You know, it actually looks pretty cool. They got a really nice, man, I think the Horde got the better location. I'm not gonna lie. This is really cool. Plot number 3 is located right over here. Now this one has a pretty cool view as well. It's got like this little archway with the rocks over there. You have a view of some other people's houses and what's going on around there. Pretty cool position, I guess. It's, I guess, not super crazy. It's just, you know, in the middle of everything. Plot number 4 is located right over here, and this is where the forest area of the kind of like zone starts. So you'll see here they have the forest right behind them like this. They have pathways around, and they also kind of have a view of the rocks and a little bit of a river down below. Pretty nice location, I would say. They have a pretty decent view too. Plot number 5 is one of the first of the beachfront houses. So right over here at this location, this is what it looks like. Here's the plot. Behind you, you have this nice little archway rock, which is on the other side that we saw earlier. But you actually have like the water going into the ocean here, a little bridge, some palm trees, sand, and a view of the ocean. Pretty cool, pretty nice. I like this one. Plot number 6 is located right over here. I think this one is pretty cool if you want to be in a community of people because you have like possible friends' houses all around here on this little beachfront. You're a little bit further away from the beach, but you have like all the sand, the cliffs, decent view of like cool things going on around you. Really in the center of a bunch of stuff here. Plot number 7 is located right over here. Also has a nice view of the beach and everything. As you can tell here, this person's built their house pretty massively. This is their house, so don't expect this to be here. This is specifically what they've built. But here it is. It's on this little like mini island close to some other like possible friends' houses. You've got some like rocks around you, some trees and stuff. It's a decent plot overall. Plot number 8 is pretty cool. It's on its own like little kind of base mountain over here. I say mountain, but it's more of like a little hill kind of thing. I don't know how you explain this, but it's like, it's really on its own little section, really cool and segregated from a bunch of other things. There is a house just below it over here that you have view of. Maybe it could be your best friend or something. And you live here. And this is a very cool view to have, I would say. Plot number 9 is about to blow you away. It's located right over here against the cliffside. It has a really cool waterfall view behind it. Really fantastic. A lot of nature and flowers and, you know, hillsides and trees covering. It's really like in this little cozy corner. I really like the theme around this one. Plot number 10 works best if you have a friend who lives in number 34. Pretty cool location. You'll see here, this is what you have from here. A lot of like the rocky themes and like these pillared rocks that all stick up around you like this. That's the vibe you get from this one. Your friend could live over there and you could be like right across the road from each other, which could be pretty cool. Plot number 11 is one of the beautiful little like beachfront properties. It's located right over here. This is what it looks like. Here's the property in general. You have a lot of proximity to friends who could live at either of these houses near you, which is cool. You've got like the river here that goes into the ocean. Really nice view, beachfront vibes. It's pretty tropical. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty cool. Plot number 12 is one of several really high up kind of cool looking like base plot areas. It's over here. This is what it looks like. It has some big trees. It's also really high up, like I said, so you're gonna have like a big view of everything around you. So if you like this vibe, this might be for you. Plot number 13 is located right over here. It's also a beachfront property. You can see here you have access to a bunch of trees around and, you know, well, the ocean, sand, kind of the general vibe that you've seen already. Plot 14 is similar to previous one, plot 13. So this one right over here is, you know, it's got some palm trees around the big cliff in the distance there, but it is a beachfront property, mostly with like the sand and this kind of like vibe. You do have like this little bridge that goes onto this little island over here that might be cool. But yeah, that's what this one looks like. Plot number 15 has a great cliffside view. It's located right over here. This is what a plot looks like. Got some giant trees. The mountain face over here kind of feels a little bit private. You have a crazy view of, you know, off the face of a cliff here. Pretty nice. You do have a neighbor that you could probably see through the trees across the little river that side. You have the waterfall down here. Pretty cool little kind of like almost private property vibe here with the cliff. Plot number 16 in the middle of the zone is located right over here. This is what it looks like. It's got some mountains and like a tower behind it. It's got, well, this kind of view. You can kind of see a bunch of stuff. You can see almost everything. You can see the beach down there, the rocky side there, the trees down there. So you pretty much like are in the dead center of every single kind of biome that the zone has. Plot number 17 is a beachfront property. It's located right over here. This is what it looks like. You have the view of, well, the beach, some tropical trees around you, some neighbors who could be friends or guildies or something. And yeah, you have a pretty cool view of everything from here. It's a very nice beachfront property out of the ones that we've seen. Plot number 18 shares a really close boundary with a community of 28 and 9. So right over here, this is where the plot is located. You can see here your neighbors are there and there. So like you live really close to each other. So if you have friends and you want to be next to each other, this is the best place to grab with all three of you. And you have a view of like the kind of cliffs behind you and all the trees and the rocks. It's a pretty cool view from this location looking outwards. I would say it's actually pretty nice. Plot number 19 is a very private beach property location. So located right over here. It's got like its own little like mini island. Everybody else is a little bit further away. So you can have like this like really close to the water vibe, you know, and a view of everything from here. It's pretty cool. Plot number 20 is in the middle of the forest. You're going to see some neighbors around you. So if you like community, this might be a cool looking one for the forest location. So here's what the plot looks like. You can see here, you're literally surrounded by a ton of trees in every direction. You can vaguely see this neighbor over here. There's some houses in the distance over there as well. And you have like a semi like view off of this little hill into this direction. So that might be cool for you. Plot number 21 is a bit of a blend. It's over here at this location. You can see here it blends in just next to this river with the forest on the edge over there and all the canyon side over here. If you like actually travel across like this, the weather seems to change between these two little areas as it changes between the two biomes. So you're probably going to have like a weird phasing issue with the weather and the lighting changing between these two lines. Plot number 22 is located right over here up in the mountains pretty much. So you'll see here, this is the plot. It's got like the big mountainside behind it, some big trees, a tower next to it, the bridges across from either sides here, and like a general high view of the beachfront and the major cliffs. That's where this property is. Plot number 23 is surrounded in forest. It's also got some water around it. Its location is here. This is what it looks like. It's got some big trees around it, some really big trees. It's literally got a river that goes around with a little waterfall around the property like this, another waterfall that side. So it's actually a pretty cool little cozy environment, I would say. Plot number 24 is located over here. Really solitude kind of vibe here. You have some trees, the mountaintop here, but really cool. You got like a shipwreck right next to you. So like this is such a private looking like house. Really cool views. You have like this skeleton rib cage through here. It's actually fantastic. This is probably one of my more favorite plots from this region so far. Plot number 25 is really up against the mountainside here. Got some cool decorations around it with the like, you know, the little kind of wooden scaffolding that's or the stairs going up here, up the mountain to a tower. So really kind of like in the mountains vibe that I'm getting here. Some water around this side. Cool location, I think. Plot number 26 is pretty interesting. It's kind of like a beachfront property, but it's got a really cool backside. So here you have this like view of the ocean and like some houses on this side, the community. But then you have like this backdrop behind you with what also seems to be like a weird little cave or something that goes in here. Pretty interesting. I don't know what that is. But yeah, it's a decent property overall. Plot number 27 is really interesting. It's really high up, located over here. You'll see here, this is where the property is located. And just around it is like, you know, a view of everything that is much lower down than you are. So you're going to literally have a house that is on top of the world, like very Tauran style, you know, kind of like towers of mountain stuff here. Plot number 28 is located over here. Best if you have your two friends who live nearby. As we looked at earlier, this plot is located right over here. You have a friend's house there, one like right across the road here to this side. You have a little pond over here, some trees, and a decent looking view of everything around you. I actually kind of like this one. It's a little cozy and friendly with your friends nearby. Plot number 29 is a really unique property because it's one of the only ones along with number 40 that's near some geysers. So here's where the plot is located. It's got this like mountains and these like things around it, the little cliffs and little water pools, but you also have like these geysers and these things going off here, like your own little day spa that you can just like chill in the water, do some fishing or something. I don't think fish exist here, but you know, that's the vibe this one has. Plot number 30 is like the other one we had at 27, where it's high up on a like little mountain Tauran style, like the one that we had previously. This one's located over here. It's a little bit lower. It has a bridge right across it from this side, a bridge going that side, some towers, some trees, and a view all around of, well, a bunch of different stuff that you can see from here. It's a cool location. Plot number 31 is a cabin in the woods with some rivers around it. Here's its location. This is what it looks like. Here's the rivers around it, as you can see, going through like under several bridges, and it's a bunch of trees and, you know, like the mountainside behind. Pretty cool looking, private feeling like house, I would say. Plot 32 is also a very unique property that's not replicated by any of the other ones. So you'll see over here, it's at the bottom here with a big tree. It's in between all the mountains. At the lower end, it's got like this archway that goes through this side. Really cool. Got the river of the ocean going through here, some like fishing nets. It's a really kind of cool, cozy vibe going on here. Plot 33 is a beachfront property if you hate sand, because this one is actually on grass, but you still have a view of the beach, pretty much. You know, from there, you can see your neighbors. Could be a community house that you play with friends, but it's a lot more like foresty and floral with like these big palm trees and stuff around you, little waterfalls. Nice location if you like grass but want to be by the beach. Plot number 34 is best used if you have a friend in plot number 10, because you guys are right across each other. So here's what the plot looks like. Your friend literally lives over there. They can see you. You live across the road. Pretty cool. And you have this kind of view, which is not too bad either. Plot number 35 is on a cliff face on like the edge of the cliff over here. As you can see, this is its location. Here's what it looks like. You can see here, here's your view. I don't know if it's the most incredible view with this mountain. Maybe they'll change this mountain. Kind of looks pretty boring right now. It looks like a giant billboard with like subscribe to ConCon written on it or something, you know, but here's what it looks like here. It's got some trees around the background. It's kind of private, even though it's close to this house up here and this house over here, but it's in its like own lower down section. Plot number 36 has an awesome view. It's also close to a friend at 25. So you can see here, here's what the plot looks like. Your friend can live over there. You have the like mountainside over here, which is not super great. But then looking over this view, you have like a view of all the like tropical trees and the canyon. And it's a cool view from this angle, I would say. Plot number 37 is a private beachfront property. It's located right over here. This is what it looks like. The only way that it really accesses into here is a nice little bridge. It's got its own little mini island alongside this mountain on the side here. Here's where the property is located. You can see some other houses across over this way, but you're mostly like to the ocean from your own side. You even have your own little like dock over here where you can like fish and just chill. It's nice. Plot number 38 is in the forest and the mountainside over here. You can see here you have a view of the cliff. Like off the cliff, I mean, like this, pretty cool. And then trees all around you. Pretty nice. There are some other houses around you. It's a pretty cool vibe. Plot number 39 is really in solitude over here up in the hills. It's really far away, as you can see here. It's got like a bridge that goes across to it over here. It's pretty private. Pretty cool. I think it's a nice little location. This guy has built these trees by himself. These don't exist here normally. The big trees, however, are unchangeable. They exist there entirely. And this is the view that it has from here. It's pretty cool. Plot number 40 is located right over here. It's one of the unique ones with 29 that it has access to this like geyser location. Not many houses get to be near this section over here. Pretty cool, pretty unique. It's also, you know, like I said, it's got its neighbor over there. It's got this like big cliff circle thing next to it. One over there as well. Not really much for a view, to be honest, but it's in the middle of the map, I guess. Plot 41 is deceptively like a community house, but it's actually not, because you can see here, it doesn't really have houses around it. But if you look at it and you see this property, it looks like there's somebody living there and there, but those are like NPC buildings. They're not real people. But here's the view you have. It's kind of up against the little mountains with trees, tropical trees and stuff. It's not a bad location, to be fair, but it's also a lot more alone than the other ones. Plot number 42 is located on the cliffs over here by the forest. It's a little bit closer to like the waterfall side over here. So here's where the house is. Obviously, this is what the person has done with their house. Don't expect this giant building here, or do if you make yours like that. But yeah, pretty much the view is the trees and off the cliffside, and the waterfall is your most redeeming aspect because that's right next to you. Plot number 43 is also a really nice location. This is where it is right here. This is what it looks like. It's got this like, you know, wooden outlook thing that you can see the whole ocean over, and then you have your property over here. You can have a friend who lives nearby at the property that's just up there, number 12, which could be cool as well. Really nice location. Plot number 44 is a best friend property because you have very close neighboringhood with number 20. So over here at this location, this is what the property looks like. It's in the forest area, so you have a bunch of trees. Your neighbor who lives across the road can see you over there, so you can build two houses, you know, to match each other and like, you know, fight over something. I don't know, like, you know. Overall, it's just like a foresty house with, you know, community around you. The next property is number 45, located right over here. It's also in the forest over here. It's got a tower, a waterfall going behind that section over here, a bunch of trees. You can see some of the other houses through the trees this way, but mostly it seems kind of like on its own little mission, its own little like property here. Pretty cool. Plot number 46 is perfect if you like to live alone in solitude and you just want a really nice view. So here's where it is. It's up against the mountainside here with the trees, a nice view of several waterfalls. Really fantastic view and of the whole forest too. Really cool looking location. I'm not gonna lie, this is a nice one. Plot number 47 is great if you like the canyons. So it's located right in the middle of the map here. As you can see, this is the property and you can see the canyons from the view. It looks like this and you have pretty much that view of everything. It's really canyon orientated for the vibe. Plot number 48 feels really centralized and is also really raised up in the air. It's at this location. This is what it looks like here. It has a view of like the canyons, the geysers down there, the little bridges in the distance. It can also see the forest vaguely in that direction. And it's kind of like above everything else on its own little platform here. Plot 49 has a nice view of the ocean, one of the nicer ones from higher up. It's located over here on the map. And if you look at the location, you've got like the mountains and the trees behind you, but your view of everything in front here is incredible. It's a really nice view to have from this location, like really nice. Plot number 50 is part of a community of plots over here in the beachfront property area, as I've been calling it. At this location, this is what it looks like. It's on sand, but it's got grass around it too. It's got like the river that winds just behind it like this around the whole side, an archway, some rocks of the canyons behind it, and you know, some tropical and beach in the distance. There's a little bit of everything in this one little property. Plot number 51 is also part of a community of plots over here at this location. So it's right over here. This is what it looks like when you get here. You can see a bunch of people's houses. There's a house there. There's a house there. There's one over there. I think that's also somebody's house. So you're pretty much in the dead center of a bunch of houses and you have like your own little mini island to yourself with this like big tree sticking out here. The rest of the stuff is his own decorations, I think, except for these two trees here. Plot 52 is on the cliff side. It also shares a best friend plot with 53 next to it, which we'll talk about soon. So right here at 52, this is the view you have. It's on the cliff side. You have like this waterfall and like the wooden, you know, like outskirts here that you have the viewpoint from. You've got the forest at your back, your neighbor just across this little hill, your best friend who could live here. And that's the life you'll live here. At plot 53, which is best friend plots with number 52 because you guys live right next to each other, there's 52. 53 is over here, also has the forest behind it and a view of, well, the canyons and the ocean in the distance like this. So that's the vibe this one has over here that you can share with your best friend. For the final plot, number 54, this is also a fantastic plot to have right over here at this location. It's up against the mountainside over here. It's got some big trees around it. Really cool view of these little mini waterfalls over here. There's one house that you can see in the distance here, but on the left here, everything here is yours. Everything the light touches is yours. That's a beautiful view, man. Like you've got like the sun rising over here. It's fantastic. I like this one. And that's it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know in the comments down below which are your favorite plots, and I'll see you guys when Midnight releases. Thanks for watching.